A very warm welcome to all of you to this very special webinar entitled Networking for a Successful Career in Clinical Hematology, Strategies for Junior Doctors and Researchers. This special webinar is brought to you by the International Academy for Clinical Hematology as part of a series of very specific webinars aiming to help the younger generation and colleagues to build their CV, to help them publish some of these important tasks and things you need to achieve actually to hopefully build a brilliant career. I'm Mohamad Mohty from the Sorbonne University and Saint-Ouen Hospital in Paris, in France. And today we will explore one of the most powerful tools for career success in clinical hematology, namely networking. While we all, I think, agree and acknowledge that expertise and clinical skills are fundamental, building strong professional relationships can open doors to mentorship, to research collaborations, but also leadership opportunities. So I think whether you are a junior doctor, a researcher, or someone looking to expand your career, mastering some of the networking strategies will be essential actually in shaping your future in this rapidly evolving field of clinical hematology. These are my disclosures, but nothing relevant to this webinar. For the sake of introduction, I would like to highlight that networking is not just about exchanging business cards or LinkedIn requests. It's about forming meaningful connections that will help shape your career. And in clinical hematology, like in many other fields, of course, networking plays a pivotal role in career advancement and providing access, and it can allow you to provide, it can allows to provide access to mentorship, participation to clinical trials, to publications, research projects, but even new job opportunities. So by actively engaging with experts, scientific societies, but also peers in general, you're not only aiming to just know the name of the people, but you are actually aiming to gain knowledge and position yourself for long-term success. So let's explore together in the next few minutes or so the most effective ways to build and nurture, I would say, these professional relationships. So first, you have to identify and engage with potential mentors. And a mentor is more than a teacher. It's a person that will guide and advocate for you in your career. And actually finding the right mentor can help you navigate challenges, refine your research interests, but also access career-defining opportunities. Obviously, you have to start first locally. So look for senior faculty members or experienced clinicians in your own department, division, in your hospital. But also, you will have at some point to start looking beyond your institution. You have to connect with the leading researchers and clinical trial investigators whose work aligns with your interest. But I would like to alert you on the fact that when reaching out to these people, be specific, ask thoughtful questions, and demonstrate great enthusiasm. And I can assure you, and I have my own personal example, of course, that a strong mentor-mentee relationship can fast-track your career. So you have to invest time in seeking and maturing these connections. So how to find a mentor? Well, I would say that finding a mentor is not a passive process. It requires initiative. So you may need to request informal meetings, and it could be a simple coffee chat, and a few minutes, 5-10 minutes over coffee can spark a meaningful relationship. You know that these days, time is the most precious and rarest asset we have. So you can offer to assist in research projects, provide some manpower, even small contributions, such as helping with a case report, helping in collecting data. All of this can establish you as a valuable contributor and collaborator. And last but not least, it is crucial that you keep in touch with the potential mentor you have identified. It should not be a sort of a single shot activity and then it vanishes. You have to provide updates on your progress to maintain the relationship. So, because mentors actually appreciate the proactive, but also the committed mentees. So take the first step and reach out to them. Well, you have to participate in specialized conferences and meetings. The major international events, the ASH meeting, EHA, our own ICH meeting, and by the way, it's available free of charge to all attendees. It's even better if you're attending these conferences to present research. So don't hesitate to try to find a case report of interest. It doesn't need to be cutting edge research, and aim to present some work and submit abstracts. In these small groups, direct interactions are even easier with the leaders in the field. So I think you have to consider that each event is an opportunity to expand your network and this will open doors to new collaborations. It may not work immediately, and you should not expect that at every single conference something great or something magical will happen. But you have to adopt a very systematic, very disciplined approach. So, assuming now, and I hope I have convinced you, you're attending a given conference, you have to maximize your conference experience. And there are different strategies to maximize this experience, and you have to get the best yield from it. Because remember, you want to build over the long term a brilliant and successful career. And our field, like all other medical and scientific fields, lives and can do great through interactions, through collaborations. So first you have to set a goal. And I'm convinced that if you are really active and hard worker, you can always achieve at least or manage to present at least one abstract per year. You can always find some work in your department, in a rotation you had a few cases to present. We're not talking about the phase 3 randomized trial, but you need to present something because there should be some effort, and this is crucial for the visibility. The strategy is also about planning ahead. So you have to review the program. You need to know who is there, where do they come from, who is doing what, who is speaking about what. And then you can organize your agenda to attend the sessions where you would like to meet with this or this key expert and potential future mentor. You can also send a contact in advance, send a nice email, and you will be very surprised that usually the great mentors will always reply, because that's part of the spirit of our field. Do not hesitate to attend the informal networking receptions. Many congresses do organize this kind of receptions, and I can assure you, and I have several personal examples, that many collaborations, many wonderful papers you will publish actually have begun over a coffee or tea, if you prefer, or at a social gathering during a conference. So by approaching conferences with intention, you can turn a one-time event into a long-term professional relationship. And this is, I think, very important. What about now the scientific societies, professional organizations? Well, again, I'm deeply convinced that joining a professional or several professional societies is more than just adding aligned to your CV. Because many people think, oh, it's great to be member of ICH, of EHA, of actually, it's about engagement. Because when you commit to these organizations, you become an active member. And automatically, you can volunteer in working groups, committees, to gain leadership experience, because you will hear, you will listen, you will watch. How is it going? And this is how we learn. I mean, we know this. We learn our job at medical school. Obviously, we studied a lot in books, but at the end of the day, it's about your training in the hospital, in the ward, where you will truly learn how to practice. And it's also true. Sometimes I hear a lot of negative comments about committees, waste of time, etc. I don't believe it's true. Actually, you're attending the meeting, so you have to optimize your time. And this is part of what's happening in the conference. So you can also, you should not hesitate to use the membership directories to connect with the like-minded professionals. I know these days there are less and less papers and books. We used to have like a sort of a booklet with all the names and emails and addresses, but still, I'm sure you can find it today. Whenever you Google someone or something, you can find a lot of information. So active participation in scientific professional organization can help to position you as a recognized voice in hematology. You can also, and I mean, you should take your involvement with the professional societies to the next level. So please don't hesitate to ask to join a committee, because this will provide insider access to some influential and highly skilled professionals and experts. You should try to attend advocacy events, because they are prime networking opportunities. And you should not hesitate to engage in forums and discussion groups. And I'm sure your sensible contributions will be noticed. And these professional societies are the backbone of networking in our field in clinical hematology. So I strongly recommend that you make the most of them. Now, let's move to collaboration on research and publications in general. I'm sure everybody is well aware, highly convinced, that one of the best ways to gain recognition is through research and high-level publications. So how are you going to achieve this? Well, unfortunately, no one will come to you spontaneously and ask you to lead the next phase 3 international randomized trial that will lead to the validation of drug XYZ in leukemia, lymphoma, or myeloma. At the beginning, you have to offer to collaborate on projects within your department. You have to write case reports. And again, I hear a lot sometimes, oh, case reports are useless. No, that's not true. It's a learning and a teaching exercise. The case report by itself may not be cutting edge. It may not be a breakthrough. It will not change the face of medicine. But actually, the case report is a very practical way where you can train and learn how to write a scientific manuscript or typescript. Please don't hesitate with more experience to propose and offer to write reviews, commentaries, to establish yourself in the field. Ask your mentor, for instance, a senior mentor who has reviewed a great paper that will be published in Blood, JCO, whatever reputable high-level journal. The editors may ask to write an editorial about the paper. Well, always offer to help. Offer to propose that you're going to contribute to the first draft. And usually journal editors very open to this, and they would allow the contribution, the participation of a junior colleague. And of course, you have to start thinking about applying, seeking grants, investigators, awards to fund your research. So you can see it's a step-by-step process going from the case report and having the big grant. So it is a continuum. It takes time, but if you're persistent, actually, you will succeed, I'm convinced. And of course, at the end of the day, we all know, despite whatever opinion is here or there, that a strong publication record not only advances science, but also it will elevate your career profile. And don't listen to whatever nasty, I would say, comments. People will look into PubMed and they will find out, what did you achieve? What did you publish? What was your contribution? And not everybody is expected to publish the breakthrough, the new drug, the new gene therapy that will modify the natural history of a given disease. People are more tolerant, I would say, and they will look just someone who contributed honestly, continuously to the field. When it comes to research and publications, you have to start from a starting point, I would say. So inquire, ask around you about ongoing clinical trials. You may not be aware of everything happening in the division of hematology in your institution or the department, and volunteer to contribute. Of course, you have to dedicate time, because volunteering to contribute, it means you're offering time. And by getting an idea about what's ongoing around you and in your field, you can start proposing research ideas to your mentors. And never forget that small studies can lead to bigger opportunities. And don't forget, also keep track of grant deadlines and volunteer to help in preparing these grants, because this will be acknowledged at some point, and funding, of course, will accelerate your project. So a well-connected researcher, a clinician, is an impactful researcher. So you have to collaborate and publish to make your mark. Now, of course, everybody will ask me the question about social media. And remember, we had the opportunity as part of this special ICH series dedicated to communication and how to push and develop a career in clinical hematology. We had a special webinar dedicated to social media. And as part of the networking effort and process, you have to develop an online and social media presence with all the precautions that we discussed in the past, and this has been published in a paper in Clinical Hematology International, which is the peer-reviewed academic open access journal of the ICH. Because your online presence is actually your digital CV. So you can have a paper CV, a PDF document on your computer, but the online presence is your digital CV, and you have to pay attention to your digital CV. I believe you will pay a lot of attention and spend time preparing your paper CV. Should be the case for your digital CV. So don't hesitate to keep an updated LinkedIn, ResearchGate, ORCID profile. I know there is a lot of controversy around these platforms, but when it comes for us in our scientific medical field, something exclusively, I would say, limited to the science and medicine, I'm not worried about engaging with experts on X, Twitter. You can comment on the work, share insights, and we live now in the virtual world, I would say. It's exactly what we're doing right now with this webinar. So you should not hesitate to participate in webinars, online conferences, to stay visible. And I can assure you the ICH is now leading the medical education in clinical hematology. And every week we have 2, 3, 4 activities. And I can assure you it can help you to connect with many experts. Because in today's world, your online activity can shape your professional reputation. So you have to be strategic and stay active. So don't hesitate to enhance your online brand. And there are different steps to follow. Use a professional headshot and detailed bio on all platforms. Try to follow the leading experts in your domain. Share elegantly conference insights, publications. That will help you to build your credibility, and your online presence can amplify your visibility and attract valuable connections. So really give some importance to the online presence today, despite all the controversy. You can also, as part of this global networking effort, you can seek out formal training and fellowships. Because, of course, formal training opportunities can accelerate your career progression. So if you have this possibility, you should apply for fellowships, observerships, even short-term training programs can be useful. So observerships at leading medical centers are really crucial and can help you a lot. And of course, you have all the continuing medical education programs, and there are more and more of these programs, exactly what we're doing at the ICH. You have the Transplant Academy, the Myeloma Academy, and soon many other CME accredited sessions. So this keeps you connected with the top faculty. And of course, these experiences will enhance your expertise and connect you with leading mentors. You have to aim to gain the best training opportunities. So depending on where you are, I know the regulations, the organization, the systems can be different from one place to another. But I think it's about more the spirit of all this, where you have to research the top fellowship programs and their application criteria. You should apply for electives at renowned centers, because exposure, as I mentioned several times, is key. And you have to use training programs as networking platforms. Connections made during your training will shape your career. And each training experience will expand your skills, but also your professional network. On the long term, you have to cultivate long-term relationship, because networking does not end after a conference or a single email. It's about sustained engagement. So you need to follow up after networking events with personalized emails. Please offer value, share relevant research or opportunities with your contacts, and maintain the consistent communication. Small interactions, consistent small interactions will build trust over time. So these long-term relationships are fundamental to successful careers. And I can assure you, 30 years after my training, I keep on connecting, talking, speaking, interacting with my mentors, all the relationships that were built over time. And how do you build these relationships? So if you want to maintain and grow your professional network, send thank you emails after key meetings. It doesn't cost a lot, it doesn't take a lot of time, but it is highly appreciated. A small thank you email. Keep a record of your contacts and follow up periodically, because the more you meet people, the more, and you will forget. So you have to be very disciplined and check in with your mentors and collaborators, because updates keep relationship active. Consistency is key, and small gestures today will create lifelong professional allies. So, in summary, I hope I have convinced you that to build a strong network in clinical hematology, you have to find and engage with mentors. You need to be visible. You need to present, to publish, and participate in conferences. You need to join professional societies and take an active role whenever possible. You have to seek actively collaborations, because research will strengthen your network. And last but not least, you have to maintain these relationships, and you need to follow up and stay connected. So by integrating these strategies, you will establish a strong reputation. You will gain career defining opportunities, and I'm sure you will thrive in the hematology community. Our field is about innovation, it's about passion, so just keep going. So I will stop here, and maybe we can have some discussion based on your comments, your suggestions, your questions, your feeling regarding all of the issues I have mentioned in my 30 minutes or so summary. And I can assure you that was not an easy task to prepare this, because if you ask me to prepare something about how role of induction prior to transplant in myeloma, well, you know, there's lots of evidence-based paper published. You can prepare your slide. Here, it's more personal. So we have a question here. Professor Mohty, thank you very much for this insightful webinar. You covered what to do. Could you also share some key what not to do recommendations? Well, that's a great question indeed. Well, actually, I would say it is relatively straightforward. The what not to do recommendations are exactly not doing what I recommended to do. So one example is, if you think that actually you don't care about conferences and you don't want to attend because you are someone 1000% focused on your daily clinical duties, well, obviously, that will not help to push your career. What not to do is to say, oh, being a member of a scientific society is useless because anyway, it's just about paying a membership. And by the way, most societies have either free or very modest membership for the junior and young colleagues. So this is not to do. What not to do is, oh, I have this case report, but case reports, they don't go into the New England Journal of Medicine. So why should I waste my time on a case report? Not good. Well, because if you are starting to publish papers, you have to start with something. And again, you're not going to start with the Nature paper. You're going to start with publication and a small publication, a case report, a retrospective series, and so on. What not to do, for instance, you're attending a conference, and we all know at the end of the day, there is a poster session with drinks and pretzels, and you would say, oh, I don't want to attend this. This is, I'm going to have a party with my friends, or, well, that's not very good. I would rather recommend that you go, you attend the poster session, you can enjoy a drink, you can tour the different posters, stop by different posters of interest to you, discuss with the presenters. That will create interactivity and so on. I have a question here from Dr. Murad Ali about how can we get membership of ICH? Well, you're all welcome, guys. All you need to go to the ICH website, ich.org, and you will see all the information there. And by the way, the ICH is offering observership and grants for the young colleagues who wants to go and gain experience in another country or city. And we had already one cycle of these grants, and you may have seen on social media the winners thanking and explaining their project. So we will have other cycles. So watch out for these opportunity. I have a question here from Dr. Doucouré Aboubakar, who is a young hematologist in the Republic of Guinea. We're very happy having all our African colleagues attending the ICH activities. Thank you for being loyal. And his question to Dr. Doucouré Aboubakar is about, he's saying, collaborations are not easy in our case. And I do appreciate this is true. To integrate into the major studies, research study, what solutions for us? Well, I think it's a step-by-step process. Well, maybe joining the registration phase 3 prospective study may not be as easy immediately, but actually publishing, having your own local database about how you do things, what is really specific in your country, in your city, in your department, and sharing it with a broader audience, I'm sure that can help to raise your visibility. Dr. Rohan Halder is asking if he or she wants to join a working group committee in a professional body. How to do it? Well, either you pop in, you can also write asking if participation into the working group is possible and how Should I do it? You're asking me the question, is there a minimum professional experience needed? No, I think no. And actually, your experience will increase with time. So you should not hesitate. We have another question here that publishing even a case report, I'm reading the question, can be challenging during residency or training due to a busy schedule, time constraints, and sometimes lack of mentorship, despite strong motivation. How can these challenges be overcome? Well, I do agree with you. This is what I mentioned. Time is the most precious and rare treasure we have. And you have to be very proactive. So if you are training, if you are a resident somewhere, I'm 100% convinced that you're seeing frequently specific cases, unusual cases. So you have to offer to publish them. You have to go and do the literature, go to PubMed and analyze what's ongoing. How does it compare to my patient, the patient I have seen yesterday? So I'm convinced it will not come to you. You have to look for it and do it. I have a very nice message from Dr. I hope I'm pronouncing correctly. This is Dr. Yigeng Cao, and he's telling me, I am from Tianjin in China. So big hello to all our friends in China. And he's telling me currently we're performing around 1,000 transplant cases per year at our institution, and I'm eager to explore how we can become more involved in international clinical research. Can you please share any advice? Well, yes. Well, let the community know what you're doing, because it is impressive if you're telling me you're doing 1,000 transplants per year. Well, please share it with the community. Share your information. Write paper about your experience. Why not submitting a paper to the Journal of the ICH, Clinical Hematology International, and our experience in this or this or this disease? I think because you need to make yourself visible. How do you want people, how do you want sponsors, how do you want pharma companies who are running these trials to be aware of you if you don't share, if you don't show what you are doing, what is your expertise? We'll take one last question, and this is a question again from an African colleague. And the question is, we are interested in cellular therapy research despite the non-existent facilities in our country. What to do? Well, things everywhere didn't exist. I mean, if you look to France, in 1974, there were no transplant centers, but someone needed to go and learn and then come back and build a transplant center. And that's exactly what should happen everywhere. It's never too late, in my opinion. So if there is a need, if you believe this or this technique, this treatment, this platform can help a patient in your place, in your country, in your city, well, obviously, you need to organize yourself and go, I'm going to learn, and I will come back with my colleagues, with my mentors, and we'll try to build it progressively. So again, thank you all for joining this special webinar brought to you by the International Academy for Clinical Hematology. And of course, we have plenty of lovely messages from different colleagues. I will not read all of them, but this one is very nice. Dr. Ufuk Demirsi saying, thank you so much for the wonderful guidance and educational tutorial. We have our friend Dr. Esra Gülduran from Turkey. And by the way, she is a brilliant rising star. She's now leading the EBMT trainee committee, and Esra is thanking me and say always wise and enlightening. Thank you very much, Esra, and please reach out to Esra if you want to hear more about training opportunities when it comes to stem cell transplantation. So with this, I'd like to thank you all again for following this webinar, for being loyal to the ICH activities. This ICH is your platform. This is your hub for education. Please spread the word. All our activities are free of charge. The majority are CME accredited. You can get and claim your points after visiting and, of course, answering the multiple choice questions at ich.org. And for any kind of information about the ICH, just send an email to one easy address, info@ich.org, and the whole team will be more than happy to provide you with all kind of information and assist you. So thank you very much. Wherever you are, please stay safe and keep well. This is the ICH around the globe and across the hematology field. Take care.